Well, today was a super windy and cold day, you know. Yesterday we had snow, right? And today it was like +2, +3, you know, what is it, like 34, 35 F, but windy with gusts of wind from northwest. Very bad weather. So I did lots of deliveries today, mostly drove the Freightliner, moved a bunch of scissor lifts, and then I was back in the yard around like 3:45, and so my official finish time is like 4 p.m., right? And parked the Freightliner, and they said, oh, we have one more for you. And I look and it says auto scrubber, some kind of like a machine that polishes the, you know, concrete. And actually I delivered that one last week. So I said, what is this? Probably for a pickup truck. And I said, yeah, you can pick it up from a dock as long as you can open your tailgate. And it was like 10 kilometers away, so no big deal. I drove in my favorite Ford 350, you know, picked up that scrubber with a couple of brushes they didn't use, brought it back, filled out the paperwork, turned it in, and I told them that's it, I'm going home. It was already 4:30, so when I checked out, the computer showed work hours 10, but of course I'm not paid for half an hour lunch, so 9:30. And when I was driving, I got a call from FedEx. So my filter came in, but the box is kind of like a little bit, and I'm gonna open it now, except I don't know, I really need to buy a knife, you know. Something keeps happening with my pocket knives. At home I only have that, so now I'm using this. I keep one of these, you know, one is in my backpack, one is in my car, because happened a few times, you know, when you break a nail and it's so annoying, and so I have this clipper, but this one is fancy one. So this one has actually, this one has this. Probably if I were to go on an airplane, they would put me in jail, but we can use this to open it. I just want to make sure it's not damaged. And this, so this was sent from oh, inside it has another box. Okay, this was sent from CSN. You see, pretty big filter, but this box doesn't seem to be broken. All right, and by the way, some people were issuing false statements a long time ago. That's what the filter looks like. A long time ago, yes, you can buy a filter that you have to oil. Like nowadays, these filters, they all dry. You don't need to oil them. I love using them. So this one lasts for like 100,000 miles. I don't know, 160,000 kilometers. You just check it occasionally, and then if it's a bit dirty, you just wash it. And it's lifetime engine filter. Actually, wait a second. So designed to increase horsepower, multi-layer protection, 95 to 99% efficiency, washable and reusable. Yeah, so it's not 100,000 miles. It's up to 75,000 miles between cleanings, or 120,000 kilometers. And I don't know. My experience has been that it does increase horsepower a little bit. It makes the engine sound better. Like, I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of loud exhaust, but of course sometimes you get carried away, you make it too loud, then you have to sell the car, you know how it goes. So, but this one, right, so I tried mod number 1 on the Jeep. Was I wanted to make it loud. I went to see the guy at the shop, and he says, no, because it's a turbo engine, he says, your best bet is just cut off mufflers. And I was never a fan of that, because mufflers, in my opinion, are important for performance as well. You know, they actually help accelerate the gases, you know, because there have been tests around about this. So a car with no mufflers is less efficient than the car with mufflers. But the guy says, try it. Okay, so I tried it. Didn't like the sound, but the power did seem to be better. But the sound was weird, you know. Didn't sound like the proper engine. And so I put, second mod was I put Flowmaster Super 10s, 2 of those on the back there. And the car started sounding better. And I think performance increased a little bit. And so this is my mod number 3, and that's it. So on my previous cars, I went as far as, you know, cold air intake, but I don't want to mess with that one on this because it's a turbo engine. It's a bit different. I never had a turbo engine before. But this filter, I believe, will be a great addition to this Jeep. I'm still super happy with the Jeep. Speaking about money, not sure about the transition, but I was talking about the hours, right? I was talking about the hours. So now over here, I have top secret information. So I thought we would talk about this because people keep asking me about, like when I was a trucker, they kept asking me about income tax, right? Hey, what about income tax? You know, you're saying you grossed, you know, $40,000 a month. What about income tax? So right away I could say that I could see that these people are not self-employed, you know. But so now I'm a company driver, right? I'm an employee. And I could say right away that, you know, I don't like it. I don't like it. They take too much tax. That's why, you know, when you're an employee, most of the time you get a refund during the, you know, in April, right? Because the government takes too much money. And I'm gonna tell you the real story, the real numbers. So this part of the video is gonna be called Company Drivers versus Income Tax in Canada. So if somebody's watching this from US, just hold on to your seats because taxes in Canada, like many other things, are much more expensive, are higher than in US. But anyway, I was very surprised, you know, like I got my second paycheck on Saturday, even though it was supposed to be paid Monday, but for some reason Saturday the money was already in my account, and then Monday they gave me the little statement over here. And so I was a bit disappointed why I got so little money. I only got pretty much like $2,100. Of course, everything is Canadian. So I got $2,100, even though I felt I worked a lot of hours. That's for 2 weeks, right? And then I look at this little puzzle and it says gross pay $2,798. So in 2 weeks, I grossed $2,798, so $2,800. And that's what I felt. I felt I made almost $3,000. Guess what? Deductions, $679.60. Net pay, $2,118. So I lost $679, pretty much $700, which roughly is 25%. And so I worked 92 hours regular at $23 an hour, and then I worked 19.78 hours at 1.5, which is overtime, and the overtime was 34.5. So I made $2,116 from regular hours, and I made $682 from overtime for the gross of $2,798. And the way they do it in Canada, so federal tax, so out of those $680, federal tax in Canada was $475. EI, unemployment insurance, was $46, and the CPP, Canada Pension Plan, was $157. And that's what happened. So out of $2,800, I lost $700, got paid $2,100. And I complained to the manager about this, and he says, well, it's not up to us. He says, when you filled out that form, you know, your situation, like do you have dependents, do you have kids, you know, you have a wife that puts you in a tax bracket, right? So I said, no, you know, I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I only claim the regular, you know, basic deduction, which, you know, like the minimum, what is it, like $15,000, that's not taxed, right? And so I'm at the basic rate, and it just pains me to see I'm losing 25% of my income to the government, you know? And somebody told me this, and I'm pretty sure it's accurate, that basically they try to take as much money as possible in tax in the beginning of the year, and then towards the end of the year, when they sucked you dry, I'm talking about the government, they're gonna take less, right? Because they know that they already took too much, right? And so we keep playing these games, right? And then in April next year, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get like probably 3, 4, 5 grand back, you know, from the government. And so, yeah, I really prefer to be self-employed, because when you're self-employed, there's so many deductions, you know, like legal deductions. Like in my case, right? All the truck repairs, you know, fuel, permits, there was so many deductions, you know, that actually I ended up, they owed me money, you know. So very disappointing. But I thought I would mention this because I know lots of my viewers are from US, and you guys don't know exactly how our system in Canada works. But basically, yeah, I'm curious if somebody can leave a message. If you made $2,800 in 2 weeks in the States, how much tax you would pay? If you're single and have no kids, no dependents, would they take $700 from your pay? I highly doubt it. So that's my update. I'm working also on 2 loads. Like a gentleman bought a Mack truck in the States, and he needs to ship it to Canada. And also another one I'm looking for, I'm shipping is a big machine from Alberta to Ontario, but that one doesn't seem to get any traction. I don't know, people are scared because it's 42 tons metric, I'm guessing, so it's like 105,000 pounds. So that's what's happening. So now I'm sitting here because I ordered a takeout from this Indian restaurant, Guru India. I ordered some bangan bharta, basically eggplant puree, you know, and some naan. And so I worked really hard today, and tomorrow they say it's gonna be even more busy. I already saw a lineup of slips for deliveries and pickups for tomorrow already. Oh, and also they hired, looks like they hired another driver. I saw he was doing training with that lead driver, same as what I went through. But now I don't seem to have many issues, you know. I load by myself, I load scissor lifts, I deliver scissor lifts, I pick them up, I load all kinds of machines. But yeah, when I'm not sure, when they give me, you know, like a pickup slip or delivery slip, I go inside and I talk to the guys in the shop. I said, just could you please make sure that these are the parts I'm supposed to pick up? Yeah, like today I was delivering some scaffolding, but it's not the regular size, it's called Baker, I think. Yeah, Baker, kind of like everything is smaller, and it looks very different from scaffolding parts used in regular scaffolding, you know. Like the terms are the same, braces, you know, decks, stuff like that, safety rails, but they look different. And there was a whole bunch of, you know, equipment, and I double checked with the guys in the shop, and then I delivered it to some very rich area just west of downtown Calgary, like huge houses. And I called the guy before, I said, where do you want me to leave it? And he says, oh, just leave it in front of the garage. And then when I was dropping everything off, the guy showed up, so I showed him where everything was, and he said, yeah, good, okay. So that's what's happening. Just a quick update from Calgary with Captain Sergei. Thanks for watching.